Welcome to Small Business Saturday.
Welcome to Small Business Saturdays video series with your host and my husband.
And my dad, Aaron Montgomery.
Join the conversation.
Let's talk some business.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome into Small Business Saturdays. My name is Aaron Montgomery. You find it right down there, and we appreciate you tuning in to Small Business Saturdays here. Real quick here, let me get another. There we go. You can find me there. I've got the side there. I've got the logo on, and you can find me up at oursuccessgroup.com. So good morning. Good morning to Todd. Good morning. And Kelly, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Appreciate it. Looking forward to chatting this morning about masterminding. I couldn't figure out a good way to say that. So I said masterminding. Becky, good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. So masterminding your way to success is what we're going to talk about today. And looking forward to doing that, but getting everybody checked in here this morning. And Wade, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully everybody's having a great start to their Saturday. Beautiful day here in St. Louis, Missouri. So hopefully in your area, you have a nice day in store for you as well. Start of the holiday weekend for a lot of us here in the United States with Labor Day happening on Monday. Anybody have any big plans for Labor Day weekend here? I'm sure, Todd, you're going to be smoking or cooking something delicious. So we'll get to watch that all weekend on your Facebook feed there, I'm assuming. We've just got a nice family weekend in store. Actually, my family is going to come up here to my office, and we're going to go for a little walk outside. It's just a beautiful morning. We're going to go for a walk. My son's going to play some Pokemon Go, probably. There's a little Pokestop right there right here next to my office. So looking forward to doing that with them this morning. And Sandy checking in as well. Excellent. Okay, guys. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this so we can get off to our beautiful day here. Todd says, I didn't even realize it was a holiday weekend until yesterday. All day has been running together. Yeah, it is definitely as we're still pushing through the COVID situation here. Definitely does feel like all days are running together, but yes, it is Labor Day weekend. So, you may not be able to get the big crowds together, but hopefully you are getting an opportunity to enjoy and take some time off. And Kelly, I'm going to catch up on my orders. That is fantastic. High five to you. It's good to have orders to catch up on. So proud of you for that. And good luck with that. And obviously that's definitely a big part of what I plan on doing as well, is, taking advantage of the Monday holiday to get some extra work done. So Cheryl, good morning. Thank you for checking in. Speaking of extra work done, yes, I need to get my slides regrouped here a little bit. So get it down into the format. So I'm looking forward to having a great presentation next week at the Sublimation Summit. So if you'll go over to sublimationsummit.com, you can check out what Cheryl's got going on over there. Some awesome stuff. And I am fortunate enough to get to be a presenter on Thursday and Friday. So sign up over there if you go to sublimationsummit.com. And I believe the code is OSG25. Todd, if you remember that, or Cheryl, whatever, I think it's OSG25 will get you $25 off. And you have to be signed up by Monday. So you've got only a couple days to do that. So make sure that you get signed up for that great virtual event that's going to be happening. And here's a little secret, guys. Go ahead and sign up for the 2021 version and come out and hang out with us live there in Atlanta, Georgia, because you're going to get the virtual as well. And I think that's a huge deal. So there we go. OSG 25 for 25 off at the sublimationsummit.com. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Cheryl. Cool. So check that out. Sheila, revamping website is on my to-do list this weekend. Awesome. That's great. Perfect time for that. Get everything in line and get ready for a wonderful fourth quarter coming up here. So good job for you. And let us know if anything comes up, and bounce any ideas off of us. And we're happy to help. All right. Well, let's talk about this masterminding thing. And I call it a thing because it's an interesting theory, and and it's not something new. And that's the other thing that's really interesting. In fact, I think the first time that was really popularized into the term mastermind was from a book written. In fact, it was published in 1937, and it was written by a gentleman named Napoleon Hill. And he went and interviewed all of the most successful people of his time. In fact, he was funded by Andrew Carnegie, who was the richest man in the world at the time. And his research was, how did all these people become so successful? And in fact, Napoleon Hill goes on to quote to Andrew Carnegie as saying that his entire fortune was due to his mastermind group. So we're going to talk about that. So let's start off with defining what our mastermind group is. And like I said, this is not a new concept. Obviously, it was first popularized as a mastermind back in 1937 again. But actually, Napoleon Hill actually wrote at one point that he believed the first mastermind group was that of Jesus and his disciples. So again, this theory is not a new one, but I think it's something worth talking about here. So let's start off by just getting Napoleon Hill's take on what a mastermind is, and then we'll break it down and try to define it as best we can and see how we can put those things to use. This is just a quick 7-second video clip. In fact, I might play it twice just so you have a chance to really kind of take it in and go from there. So let's pop that up, and I'll hit replay, and here we go.
Success in the higher brackets of achievement is something that can be had only by taking others along with you.
All right, got to click the right button there. Give me 1 second, because that was actually YouTube moved on me. I was not paying attention. My apologies. Let me go back a couple clicks here, and we'll do it again. All right, where are you there, sir? Okay, well, let me that did not work as planned. So let me find it one more time and see if I can track that down. All right, here it is. Okay, sorry about that.
Understand the nature of the mastermind principle, because you...
All right, we're trying one more time. A little fail here this morning, but that's okay. We'll get it all sorted out here. So no problem. We are back in business here. All right, one more time.
Understand the nature of the mastermind principle, because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the mastermind is this: it consists of two or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now, understand the nature of the mastermind principle, because you must use it before you can take possession of the master key. An understandable definition of the mastermind is this: it consists of two or more people who work in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose. Now,
all right, so there we go. That's his explanation of it. At the very last part there, that's the part I wanted us to go over. So we're going to talk about that. So the first thing that he says is two or more people, and so a mastermind could be simple as you and a partner, you and a spouse, you and a family member, a mother or father, and it could be your family. So when you get down to the simplicity of it, it's actually genius in that it's two or more people working together. But then this next part here, this is the part I want to make sure that we're getting on track with, because he says in perfect harmony, and I think that's where a lot of times we kind of maybe miss this a little bit. It's that to me, the perfect harmony part of it is so important, and the only way to do that is through quite a bit of communication, a clear goal, understanding of where we're headed, that kind of thing. So any partnership, Todd and I talk all the time, and Do we always see 100% eye to eye on how things should go? Not at all. But we have those discussions, and we have a clear, definite purpose that we've put down on paper, to provide resources that empower over 1,000 businesses to achieve their idea of success. And then as things come up and we need to work on things, we're communicating. So perfect harmony is a big part of this. And when we talk about perfect harmony, a lot of that starts with making sure that you're getting involved with people that are of a like mind, that have similar goals. We've talked about before where, it's one thing to be able to share what we're doing as small business owners with our friends and family. But if they're not small business owners as well, they might just kind of go, Todd talked about this not terribly long ago. I think it may have been in one of the trainings, but where your friends might not. Oh no, it was when we were talking about Master of Success. Your friends might understand, we're doing this t-shirt thing. Oh, that's cute. No, this is our business. This is our job. This is our life. And so having like-minded folks, having people that are driving towards similar goals is a big part of that. So that's the first part, perfect harmony. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. But then the second part that he mentioned there right at the end was for a definite purpose. So it's one thing to collaborate, get together in a group and ask questions and do all that. But that part, to me is a great start. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in an encouraging group. You want to surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you, that are going to, be able to help you, provide knowledge, answer questions, do all those things. But you miss that definite purpose part, because when we're just, in a normal Facebook group, or we're getting together with some friends, there's no purpose. There's no understanding of the first part of it. We're getting into the vulnerability of, why is it that I do what I do? Why is it that you do what you do? What's driven you to this point? Why do you act a certain way in certain circumstances? These things all come about because of our upbringing, how we learn things, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what we're afraid of, what we're excited about. So when we get into that definite part of purpose, that's where you have to be willing to attain great things. You have to be willing to be vulnerable enough to share what your definite purpose is. Well, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? And a lot of times we go, oh, well, then that's just me being greedy, or, I'm trying to take. You have to share that stuff. You have to put that out there, and then you have to believe in it. And then other people will figure out how they mesh in together with that, and they'll be able to share their goal and their purpose. And you'll soon find out that, hey, you know what? If I do this, that's going to help you. And in turn, you'll be able to do this, which is going to help me. And then it just builds. It's, again, my favorite quote is, a rising tide raises all boats. And that's because, yes, we're building, we're working together, but it takes one person doing something to lift us up. And then, and then we keep going like that. So having a definite purpose is extremely important. And then within that, having a structure around it. So again, it's one thing to get together and ask a few questions and try to figure things out. And but if we don't have a structure, if we don't have specifics of this is the way it's going to be, then we don't get as much accomplished, and we don't feel like it's a worthy use of our time all the time. So to me, a mastermind is something where it's like-minded. You have a definite purpose. Everybody's clear and vulnerable about what their goals, strengths, weaknesses, everything. And then it's structured in such a way that it feels really valuable, where, if you have it set to happen every week or every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be, when you're getting together with your mastermind group, then it should, and if for whatever reason you had to cancel one, you should feel really, really bummed about that, because you just realized how much value you just lost. All right. So that's kind of the definition of it. If you want to even break it down to something a little bit more simple, think of it as, I'm not sure, maybe this is an experience that I'm seeing on TV or something like that. But if you think about people like climbing a mountain, especially some of the big mountains and stuff like that, they go in groups, and one guy will get to one spot, and then he'll turn around and he'll pull the next guy up and help them up that stage. And then you're going to go, then you'll keep going, and then you get to another obstacle, and maybe somebody else will be at the top of that first, and they're going to pull the guy that just pulled them up the last time up. And so that's what it's all about. It's not this, I'm going to get a bunch of people together that are going to do a bunch of stuff for me. This is, I'm going to get some people together, and we're going to all do things for each other. And because of that, the sum is going to be greater than its parts. And we can climb the highest mountains. We can do the things that we might not be able to do on our own by having that mastermind group together. So let me just see what we've got here. We've got a couple more folks checking in. Good morning, Ree and Maria and Catherine. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope I am lucky today when tuning in. Excellent, Jerry. All right, cool. So there we go. So we've now defined it. Are there any questions? Anybody else have any takes on it that maybe I'm missing? But what we, at the end of the day, is we kind of are our thoughts. And so if we can bring all of our thoughts together and be a sum that's greater than our parts, then we're going to be able to achieve more success. And this is Small Business Saturday, so obviously there's a business connotation around it, but this really will work for lots of things in your life, your personal life, your hobbies, all of those things. So think about that. But I guess if we want to just really basically simply define a mastermind, it's the action of two minds working together to grow more exponentially than one mind could do on its own. And again, if we are our thoughts, then that should be your mastermind, the third mind, so to speak. All right. So got a couple more people checking in. Curtis and Renee, good morning. Good morning. All right. So any questions about what a mastermind is? That's the way it looks in my mind. If you guys have different ideas, thoughts, please feel free to share them, and we'll interact on that. Let me just, while we're doing that, I'm going to put up one quick quote here. And this is again from Napoleon Hill, and it's about the mastermind principle. He says, analyze the record of any person who's accumulated great fortune and many of those who have accumulated modest fortunes, and you will find that they have either consciously or unconsciously employed the mastermind. So again, as I mentioned earlier, Andrew Carnegie said that he attributes his entire fortune to his mastermind group, and he was in a mastermind group with his competitors. In fact, they grew so wealthy and so rich that at a certain point, the federal government had to step in. So they may have gone a little too far, but you can do great things without having to know all the answers, without having to be able to figure it all out on your own. In fact, you probably can't reach the heights that you deserve to reach without the support of others and working in a group. So, Hill wrote this book and talked about the mastermind principle back in the 1930s. Like I mentioned, 1937 was when it was published. And so back then, they talked about it in a way that, this was a very strongly recommended thing. I would say that we look at today's world and how quickly things change and how fast things move and how much information there is to take in out there, that in today's world, this principle is almost a requirement. In fact, I would drop the almost part. I would say that it is a requirement to achieve great things. And the reason I say this is, again, there's only so much that I can do. We all have the same 24 hours in the day, and there's only so much that I can do by myself. But if I employ the help, the support, the brain power of other folks, then we'll be able to do so much more, because that's just, you're bringing that together, and we're moving up. So I guess point being is I don't see a way that we can be as successful as we could be without employing, again, either consciously or unconsciously, the mastermind principle. So that's why it's so important to me to talk about this. So important to me that we've been able to, through our success group, build that with the Masters of Success that we're working on. And I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end. But this is really important. All right. So hopefully I've proven my point. Renee says, Todd, I'm seeing a new shirt. Hashtag OSG Mastermind. I love it. Let's make that shirt happen. Todd, it just can't be green. Okay. Because if I do the green screen, anyhow. All right. So let's now, okay. So we've defined it. Again, if you guys have questions, thoughts, please feel free to pop them in there. But let's talk about the steps that we need to take here to do this. And again, the great part about this is when you do kind of sit back and think about it, it's not complicated at all. It's really not that hard. It's just a matter of putting it into action. And so here's the action steps that we need to take if we want to consciously become part of or participate or even build a mastermind group. So the first step is you have to decide what you want, and you have to be very clear about that. You know, we talk to a lot of people about their goals on a daily basis through what we do at our success group. And within that, you know, and this is not just the people we talk to. I have the same, it's not an issue. I have the same thing, that you have to get away from the generalities, because those are just hopes. Those are just things we're maybe wanting to do when it's just a general statement. You know, I want to be a better person. I want to grow my business. So we have to really decide what we want in clear, concise, specific words, phrases, measurable. That's not a word. Measurabilities. That's not a word. Milestones, things that we can measure. So we have to really define that. So define what you want. You know, what is success to you, and make that a clear statement. You know, providing resources that empower 1,000 businesses to achieve their idea of success. That's the goal. That's our clear deciding what we want. All right. And now we can break that down even further and be real clear about that, as, you know, so what are the resources? Training, supporting mastermind groups, consulting, tools that, checklist tools, things like that. I mean, so get all that stuff very clear, not only in your head, but I'd suggest writing it down, because when you write it down, now when you are working to bring your mastermind into perfect harmony, like Napoleon Hill said, now you've got your roadmap right there. You can read that to them, and then you can discuss it, and then you can get from them what they're, and you'll find that if you do then the next step, and the next step is finding people of like mind. So, and I'm trying to remember who it is. It just escaped me, but somebody, I think it was Jim Rome, and I'll look it up afterwards, but somebody said that you are the combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if you think about that, that's completely true. You know, the people that we hang around with, the people we talk to the most, the people that we're engaged with the most, those are the people that influence who we are. So if you're trying to be something that is not really working out for you, I'd say one of the first things to do is to change up who you're spending the most time with. Find those like-minded people. Find those people that are pursuing similar things to what you want, or better yet, find people that have achieved things that you want. Thank you, Cheryl. could be Jim Rome or Zig Ziglar. Both of those sound very, very correct to me. I heard actually Jack Canfield actually talks about that a lot. So in fact, he uses the example of the fact that, it was very difficult for him once he realized that that was a true statement, that he realized that the people that he had to spend less time with were his parents. And that's tough. But if you have a desire to do more than where you're at right now, which hopefully we all do, otherwise why waste the time with me? You need to think about that. So we need to find like-minded people. Now, I think that we've got a group of like-minded people right here within the Business Basics group, in Cheryl's group. We're fortunate that in this age of the internet and Facebook, that we have a way to find those people a lot easier than it used to be. But again, that's just the surface of it. That's just the first part of it. So once we find like-minded people, I've made a list of the people that are on my, I don't know what the best way, target list of people that I'd like to mastermind with, and some of them are people that, one of the people on my list is a gentleman named Phil Dahlhauser, who is a gold medalist in beach volleyball. And, he's on my list. I met him once years and years ago, and he doesn't know who I am at all. But he's also a Success Principles certified trainer, and somebody that I've always looked up to because of the way he carries himself and the way he goes about his craft of playing volleyball. And therefore, someday that will happen. And, it's on my 101 goals list. So, finding those like-minded people. All right. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Okay. So step 1, decide what you want. Step 2, find like-minded people. Step 3, and 4 steps here. So we're almost done. Step 3 is to organize the group, to structure the group, and to commit to the group and make sure the group is committed to the mastermind as well. So this part's important because, again, like we said, it's one thing to be able to go and bounce ideas off of people and talk and have that. But as entrepreneurs, we need accountability too. And if we don't organize it, if we don't have a structure to it, if everybody's not committed to it, then we're not getting the power out of it that we could. Because the power is that everyone is benefiting from this, that everyone is committed to it, that everyone finds value in it. And so for me personally, I've been in some mastermind groups where it was great and we were moving right along and things were going good, and then things just changed, and that's okay. It wasn't that they were bad people or I wasn't, things just changed. And so I moved away from that stuff. And then, now I'm looking to other areas and, when I can foster these things. And so make sure that you've got that organization, you've got that commitment for a certain amount of time, you've got the structure in place that everybody finds value in it. Because again, a mastermind is a give and take. So we want to do a mastermind group because it's going to help us achieve our goals. But we achieve our goals by doing for others so they can do for us as well. And that is a big part of this. And I think there's a real area of difficulty for most is they feel like they're takers, in a sense that, I'm just trying to better myself. Well, because you're bettering yourself, you're bettering them as well. And you're going to bring to the table, you're going to solve for them. And within that process of solving for them, they're going to solve for you. And you're both going to grow more so than if you were doing it by yourself. So organize it, make sure it has structure, make sure it has value. That's the 3rd step. And then the 4th step is really important. This part is also, I talked about kind of this organizing structure, commitment, and supporting others and feeling like it's it's a worthwhile endeavor as being important, but this is even more important. So we're growing on that. And this part is really difficult for most of us. From the conversations that I've had, I know it's difficult for me, but you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worthy. You have to believe that that your success is important. You have to believe that what you're doing, what you're decide what you want, your definite purpose is of value. And then you have to be supported in that, because there will be times where, again, we go back to the mountain climbing analogy, and there will be times where you're at the top dragging people up. And there'll be other times where you're down below and you're reaching up to be pulled up, and so that's where the support comes in. But it starts with having a belief in yourself. It has a belief that you're worthy of being pulled up. What you're doing is of value. And I'll tell you this, every small business owner I know, what they're doing is of huge value, because they are the backbone. You guys are what makes the world go round. You guys are doing something for your communities. You guys are doing something for your families. You guys are doing something for yourselves, and all of that matters. So have that belief and support. And here's, I guess, the other way to look at this is, if we think about ourselves as in the greater picture of all things. Right? I mean, you can boil it down into your community, your family, or you can go out into the nation, the world, the universe, however you want to take this in. There's a lot of different ways. But if you think about yourself as just basically a cell in the greater bit, so a cell in the body, so I've got a cell in my body, and that cell has a job to do, and it does its job. And when it does its job, the body's healthy, it's healthy, everything's good. When those cells aren't able to do their jobs, they don't have the support that they need from, me feeding myself right or whatever, then we're not as healthy. So we need the support. We need, other cells to come and do their part. So that's where, you can get beyond this whole, why do I deserve to be reaching and having support of others? Because you have to do your part. You have to support. And that's what the great part of a mastermind group is it's not, you going, okay, this is my mastermind group and this is what I want. It's a coming together and bringing in a harmony of what it is that we want, So that's my take. So we kind of defined it. Let me just hit the 4 points real quick. The 4 steps. First, you have to decide what you want, get real clear on that. You have to find like-minded people. And after that, so that's step 2. Step 3 is then you have to organize those like-minded people, have some structure, gain some commitment. And then finally, 4th, and most importantly, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your group. You have to ask for support. You have to give support and be part of a greater good. So that is the mastermind in its form, as far as I can tell. All right. So let's see what else. What other thoughts do you guys have? Are you guys involved in, maybe you didn't think of it as a mastermind group, but maybe you are, and you didn't know it. So tell us some successes. Tell us some things that you've done. Todd says mastermind is like a smaller BNI without worrying about bringing leads every week. So that's a way to look at it for sure. When you look at these things as a group, then again, I think what really kind of defines it and makes it successful, though, is that bringing structure to it, bringing organization to it, being vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is my purpose. This is what I'd like. These are my goals. But then also being smart enough to ask, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? What are you all about? And then shutting up and listening. And that's the part I have to remember sometimes, is just to shut up and listen. Now, obviously, in a scenario like that, if I shut up and listen, it would be kind of quiet. But I will shut up and listen if you guys have some things to share here. All right. So while you're doing that, I know there's a little lag between what I'm saying and when you're hearing it. So while you're doing that, so we don't have just complete dead air here, I'm going to pop something up because I do want to share something that I'm pretty excited about. And that thing is oursuccessgroup.com/masters of success. So the next phase of our success group is that we are putting structure, we are organizing, we are asking for commitments to a specific Our Success Group mastermind group or groups. Actually, our goal is to, within the next 5 years, our goal is to have, within the next 5 years, our goal is to have over 200 mastermind groups, masters of success groups. And, so within that, each group is 4 to 6 people, and it'll be very structured, and we'll do all that. So let me pop this up on screen here real quick. Oops, let me get the right one and get the right tab. There we go. Okay. So this is the Masters of Success. The part about Master of Success that I'm also pretty excited about is that it's the next step. So you get all of the training, you get all the other stuff. You're not having to do both. Once you're part of the mastermind group, you're also part of our success group. If you're already part of our success group as a member and you just want to upgrade, so to speak, then that's totally possible. But what's happening is during the month of September here, we are open enrollment because, again, we want to make sure that we're putting like-minded people together. We want to make sure that this is going to be of value, that there's commitment, that there's structure, and that it's worth your time and money here. So you're going to apply. So we've got 25 days for applications. And there we go. I found the quote. No wonder, Cheryl. It is Jim Rome. At least that's what it was attributed to when I was looking it up. So you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so for the next 25 days and 14 hours and 43 minutes and 18, 17, anyhow, next 25 days, we are going to be accepting applications for the Masters of Success. Here's the application. Go through. We're going to ask you some questions. We want you to be as vivid and specific as possible. And we'll know right there if you're really committed to the mastermind by how you go through the application, by what you put in there. We're trying to understand, get groups of people together that are going to have the best success. These groups will be led by myself or Todd or both of us, depending on how many we have and where the times fall. And then that's the other thing is, we're going to try to do this to where it works out for everybody. So we're asking when is a good time. And then we're telling you, here's the things that you're going to be committed to. All right. And then that's the commitment part. You're going to come to the calls prepared and focus and all of that. So within that, if you've got questions, you want to talk about it a little bit more, we can schedule a Zoom call. You can get on our calendar there. You can email us. You can reach out on Facebook, whatever works for you. But if you are interested in a mastermind group, we would love to have you be part of that. Again, it's the Masters of Success. So I'll take that down here. And Renee's got to run. Have a great weekend, everybody. Definitely. Thanks for tuning in, Renee. All right. Well, there we go. So that is my take on masterminds. Hopefully you're able to get something out of that. One more recap of the 4 steps. Decide what you want, find people of like mind, organize, structure, gain a commitment, and then have belief in yourself, have belief in the group, and ask for support and give support. So belief and support, number 4. All right, so there we go. That is masterminding your way to success. Hopefully that helps you grow your business. If you'd like to get into our structured Masters of Success opportunity, then just head right down here to oursuccessgroup.com/masters of success, and we'll go from there. what else? Anything else going on this weekend? Anything else we need to touch on here? Or should we go ahead and get on to our Saturdays, get on to our Labor Day weekend here, and have a great Saturday? So with that being said, let's see here what's coming up. We've got our success group's next training, the second part of the 5 keys, if you're a member, is happening this Wednesday at 7:00 Central Time. And we are going to be going over marketing with AdWords, with Google AdWords, and getting into the details and the depths of how to maximize getting in front of the right people, while at the same time not getting in front of the wrong people. So it's going to be a great lesson. Really looking forward to that on Wednesday. Tuesdays with Todd happening right before that. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate the support. It's awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Todd, I don't know if you've got something on schedule already for Tuesdays with Todd, but that happens at 5 p.m. Central Time, right here at liveosg.com, or you can find it on the Facebook page at facebook.com/oursuccessgrouppro. And that will happen this Tuesday. So you said Wednesday, next Friday over there at Two Regular Guys. We've got the folks from Action Engineering coming in to talk about specialty printing, screen printing, and direct to garment. And they make platens and different things for that. In fact, I was using one of their platens to try to DTG some masks. So I'm going to have to find some different masks because they didn't work out so great, but it was worth trying. So check that out. I check that out. Once I find something I like a little bit more, I'll maybe put together a little video on that. So, all right, everybody. I think that is it for today. So I appreciate your guys' time. Hopefully you guys will start thinking about putting together your mastermind group, or start thinking about becoming part of our mastermind group. For the Masters of Success, again, the open enrollment period is for the month of September. And then that week of the 18th of October, we will start that process, and there'll be 6 calls over the course of the quarter, and then every quarter we'll have 6 calls and go from there. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to everybody next week on Small Business Saturdays.